Now, on the other hand, the score to the first movie is completely on iTunes and most other music stores.
That's interesting, yeah.
Yeah, because, well, it has to do with licensing. Now, people say there are synth strings in the score to the first movie, and I think there might be, but I think most of it was performed by a live orchestra. It wasn't a huge orchestra like you would see with a big budget motion picture, like Warner Bros. Would use for like one of their Batman movies or anything like that. Yeah. So I think they may have augmented it with synth. I think it's also overly criticized. One thing
I don't even remember many.
Well, there's Mewtwo's. There's two things you probably should remember. There's Mewtwo's themes. Da 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 da. Okay. It's played at varying tempos throughout the movie. And then there's Mew's theme, which I can't quite sing. It's actually kind of hard. Okay. Something like that. I forget exactly how it goes. I always.
How long is this score?
The score, I think, is about 30 or 40 minutes.
Really, that long? Do you recall how many tracks are on it?
13 on the score.
Okay, wow.
There's 3 from the bonus movie, The Pikachu's Vacation, and then there's 10 from the main movie. And like I said, it's pretty much all the major stuff from the movie. I think it's good. I don't think it's as good as the score to the second movie, which sadly, like I said, is not available on iTunes anymore, which is really too bad, because that was a really good... Actually, for a while, you could only get it in the Japanese iTunes store. So yes, there was a special Pokemon item that you could only get really in Japan, and it was the score to the dub of the second movie. I know that makes no sense whatsoever, but that was the case.
The score to the dub. Nice.
Yeah. Another case of Pokemon music being sold in Japan. American Pokemon music being sold in Japan. But yeah, the score is, like I said, I think the second movie score is a lot better. Although this one isn't bad by any means. But I think I really like the use of the Power of One thing. We'll get to that another day.
Yes, we will.
But the first movie score is... I like it. I mean, I've played on the station. Everything except, like I said, I have a tendency on PIRN to not play really short tracks unless they're like the season themes. Yeah. So that one track, Mew's theme, we don't actually play on the station because it's only 30 seconds long. For legal and royalty purposes, it's not good for us to play too many short tracks.
I see.
Because we actually pay the same amount of royalties on a 30-second track that we do on a 5 or 6 minute track.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to quickly plug the station?
Sure. So actually, right now we're in kind of a state of flux. I used to publish both my update feeds for PIRN and pokepress, which is where I do my videos.
Yeah.
I used to publish those via FTP, and Blogger's doing away with that. So just the other day, I said, well, now's as good a time as any for me to transition. So now I have new URLs. The PIRN one is going to take a little bit of work before it becomes usable, but that is pirnradio.blogspot.com.
Cool.
And Pokepress is Pokepress, Pokepress, blogspot.com. I may eventually move those to domains or something like that. Who knows?
Cool. All right. Well, I guess that just about wraps up our movie one
like I said, I think we've actually talked about the album longer than it takes for you to listen to it, quite possibly. But I think this is an unfairly maligned. It may not be the best album from a Pokemon perspective. It's not. I think a lot of people criticize it. Well, it's not like To Be a Master, and it's not. But that's not the point. I think it's still musically a good album. I think it's and I can see why it sold 2 million plus copies. It did. Hopefully we'll have some other time to bring me on. We can talk about the second movie. Eventually we'll get to Pokemon X. We're almost, hopefully, at the end of Sinnoh, we're hopefully going to get at least another iTunes release of an album. Because, really? Towards the end of Hoenn, we got the Pokemon X. It came out on iTunes first in 2006, and then it came out on CD in 2007. So hopefully...
Yeah, if anything, maybe they'll release them as like an iTunes album.
I would really like them to do like an. This is another bit of inside record knowledge. If they could do back in the old days, you would have singles which were usually on 45s, and then you would have what's called a 12-inch single, which is sometimes called an EP, where you would have like 2 songs per side. But unfortunately, this album is not on iTunes. You might end up, if you get the whole thing on there, you probably will end up paying the $1.29 for some of the tracks that are harder to license. And so, but all the pretty much all the TV soundtracks are on there. All the To Be a Master, Totally Pokemon, Pokemon 3, the first movie score.
A little podcast called the WTPT Palette Tribune. That's on iTunes as well. I think we're still like just not high enough to be on the first like page of
yeah. They've got all those abridged series podcasts.
Yeah.
This is whatever. I haven't taken a look at any of those.
That's really sad that it's not really a Pokemon podcast. It's just a stream of other stuff that has Pokemon in the name.
Yeah, well, there's some other decent ones out there. And I always encourage people. I'm not afraid of competition. One thing I think I've done because I've been doing these interviews for all these years, I like to think that I've helped spur other people to maintain an interest and try and do their own commentary and stuff like that.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, Steve. The first of hopefully many guest hosts that I'm going to have now. Yeah. Well,
you get more details on that later. But. Did you give all the contact info for the website? Why don't you do that?
Let me do that again. PalletTribune@gmail.com. Of course, the website is PalletTribune.com. And if you want to catch us on Ustream, I believe you can catch us on the letter U, stream.tv/PalletTribune, and that should direct to our page where you could watch us live. I think I'm going to make a habit of this. I kind of like it to stream us like this. So it's fun to watch people's comments in the chat room.
And like I said, folks, keep listening and keep loving Pokemon music. I know I do.
Yeah. All right, stay out of the tall grass, people.
Or if the Zero-Wing people had translated Pokemon, we would have ended up with tall grass, stay off.
Tall grass, stay off.
How are you, gentlemen? Hi, I'm Stephen Reich, here at the Monona Terrace Convention Center in Madison, Wisconsin, at the Pokemon Trading Card and Video Game Midwest Regionals 2016. I'm here with Eric Gansman, who is the second-place finisher in the Masters Division of the Trading Card Game Tournament. And, Eric, we just have a few of the usual questions.